Four masked men just walked out of a guarded Italian museum carrying a Renoir, a Cézanne, and a Matisse tucked under their arms, and nobody stopped them. Not a single alarm tripped. Not one guard raised a hand. In the middle of the night, in Parma, Italy, masterpieces worth tens of millions of dollars simply vanished. And here's the part that should unsettle you: this happens far more often than anyone wants to admit. Here's what happened. Sometime between 2 and 4 in the morning, four men wearing ski masks approached the Palazzo della Palata in Parma, a sprawling Renaissance-era complex that houses the Galleria Nazionale. They didn't smash through the front door. They found a service entrance on the building's east side, bypassed what investigators are now calling an outdated alarm system, and moved through the gallery halls with surgical precision. They knew exactly which rooms to enter. They knew exactly which paintings to pull from the walls. The entire operation took less than 20 minutes. What they took is staggering. A landscape by Pierre-Auguste Renoir, luminous, intimate, the kind of work that makes auction rooms go silent. A still life by Paul Cézanne, one of the founding fathers of modern art, whose paintings have sold for over $250 million at auction. And a portrait by Henri Matisse, whose bold color work redefined what a painting could be. These aren't decorative pieces. These are cornerstones of Western art history, and they were hanging in a regional museum with a security budget that couldn't keep up with their value. But here's the detail that turns this from a crime story into a real-life heist film. Security footage shows the four men moved in formation. One led, two flanked, one stayed at the exit point as a lookout. They carried the paintings out in custom-fitted protective cases, not trash bags, not bedsheets, professional-grade art transport cases. That means this wasn't impulsive. Someone planned this for months. Someone studied the floor plan, the guard rotations, the camera blind spots. Someone with knowledge of this museum's exact vulnerabilities orchestrated the entire thing from the outside. Now, what are these paintings actually worth? On the legitimate market, a Renoir of this caliber sells for $15 to $30 million. A Cézanne still life, depending on provenance, anywhere from 40 to over 100 million. A Matisse portrait could fetch 20 to 60 million. Combined, we're talking about a potential value north of $200 million. But here's the twist most people don't understand. On the black market, stolen masterpieces sell for roughly 7 to 10% of their real value. That means whoever commissioned this heist might only collect 10 to 20 million total. So why risk it? Because stolen art isn't just sold, it's used. In the criminal underworld, a masterpiece functions like untraceable currency. Drug cartels use stolen paintings as collateral for deals worth hundreds of millions. Organized crime syndicates trade them like bearer bonds. A single Cézanne can guarantee a weapons shipment across 3 continents. The painting never needs to be displayed. It never needs to be seen again. It just needs to exist in a vault somewhere as proof of payment. That's the economy nobody talks about, and it's worth an estimated $6 to $8 billion annually, making art crime the third largest criminal enterprise on earth behind drugs and arms trafficking. And the most disturbing fact of all? Over 90% of stolen masterpieces are never recovered. The FBI maintains a database of over 20,000 stolen artworks. Interpol tracks tens of thousands more. But the recovery rate is catastrophic. The paintings from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist in 1990, including a Vermeer and 3 Rembrandts worth $500 million, have never been found. 36 years later, the frames still hang empty on the walls as a monument to what was lost. Italian authorities are now racing against the same clock. Once stolen art crosses a border, once it enters the network, it enters a shadow world that law enforcement has never been able to crack. Italian police have sealed the borders of the Emilia-Romagna region. Interpol has issued a bulletin. Every major auction house and dealer in Europe has been alerted. But the people who plan heists like this already know all of that. They planned for it. These paintings may already be in a private collection. They may already be in a vault in Geneva or a free port in Singapore. They may have already changed hands once. The Parma heist isn't just a crime, it's a reminder that the most beautiful objects humanity has ever created are protected by systems that haven't evolved in decades. Follow for updates on this story, because if history is any guide, the next 72 hours will determine whether these paintings ever see daylight again. And if you're wondering why a museum in Parma had a Renoir, a Cézanne, and a Matisse all hanging in the same building with a security system from the early 2000s, that's the question Italian officials are refusing to answer right now. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next.